Is there music for you guys? I assume there is, because otherwise people would be probably question marking. And it looks like we are off. Oh, and there's some sound. Boom. And we are off. So here we go. We are in the first kingdom, Cap Kingdom. It's about 12 to 15 seconds faster, I think, to use Japanese. And here we go. So they are off now. So this kingdom, again, it's actually more technical than you think from a speedrunner's perspective. We're going to be using mostly rolls in this kingdom. This pit right here can cause some issues with the way that you move. And there are tons of different ways to get through this part of the game. That little hump and get into this bridge. So you'll see some runners will move their cameras during cutscenes. That's completely optional. Both runners get on the bridge with no problem. They don't clip through it. And we are safe. Now we're going to get the first capture of the game, the fraud. When we do, we're going to get a cutscene. One trick that you should know about while watching this is that pretty much every action that you do, you can shake your controller and get a upgraded version of a move or something, and that includes cap throws. So for the fraud, you just jump higher, allowing you to be in the air longer. Oh, and we're actually going to see Nerf do a slightly harder strat, which is the... Oh, and he gets it perfectly. So he's going to do that strat, while jcool is going to do the more normal strat, although he did it a little weird. It looks like he went for it, but then failed. But Nerf getting essentially a perfect cap kingdom there. And jcool's fight is going a little bit off the rails. You have to hit the cap twice or jump on it. So he unfortunately has to do it that way. Well, I mean, that might have been slightly slower, but it looked darn consistent. So Nerf, the first one to leave Cap Kingdom. Lots actually happens in Cap Kingdom. It's very hard to get all of it. But yeah, I'll go back. So the cap, if you shake it while the cap is in the air, will extend its distance a little bit, but it will also, more importantly, home in on something that's close by it. So you get a, you can capture a few things that way. We might see Nerf or jcool doing some few advanced strats in some worlds. Nerf doing extremely well here. Getting this star. His movement is very clean for somebody who's apparently rusty. Oh, unfortunately, as I say that, gets hit by the chain chomp on his way to the star. But anything can happen in this game. We're going to be coming up to the first major, section break. I wouldn't really say sequence break, but we're going to be skipping an entire area. So we're going to be using the dinosaur up here to basically jump up to the boss ridge, skipping a 2D section, some platforming, a cutscene, capturing less thins. Oh, and he bonks! Oh no! That's a massive bonk. And it's so much harder to get this the second time. jcool did in right in there. So they're going to be trying to hit this as much as possible. One of the tricks that they're going to use is they're going to try to jump on the top of his head so he doesn't deal damage to them. He's having some troubles with this. jcool at the actual fight proper, even though he got the stip first time. So, and Nerf with the perfect fight essentially, or at least that last phase I looked at was perfect. This is another fight where you have to shake mad with your controller to get away from Madame Brutal. They are a lot closer now than they were going into this kingdom, thanks to Nerf's mistake. Yeah, this is so far being a really close race. Each runner isn't playing perfect, but that's not really expected. And we're going to begin one more star in this kingdom. You can see the star requirements for each kingdom at the top left of your screens, this kingdom requires 5, so we get the first required moon, which is, well, it's quote-unquote required. There was a skip found for it in the first version of the game, which is a banned trick, so you're not allowed to use it. Because it requires an older version, if I remember, that's the reasoning. So any percent runs are always done on the current patch of the game. And with the Odyssey restored, we can go to Sand Kingdom, the next full kingdom. What's the trick? I don't even remember. It wasn't. It was found like right before the patch, which is the funny part. Trick to skip the first moon in Cascade Kingdom. You could skip the first moon by jumping past the barrier. Yeah, since it requires the first version of the game, it's been banned. I don't remember how you save it. I think you had to use like some crazy jumps. Thank you very much, Tayamo, for thanking me. It's no problem. I love doing it. And we're going to be getting the bird the first try there. So we're going to get it. So there's a lot of ways you can do this kingdom. There's like a bunch of different routes because this kingdom is so condensed for how large it is. This first area has like way more than the required moons available. I mean, the speedrunning of this game will never be dead because this is probably one of the best speed games I've ever seen released by a AAA company ever. So, wow, and Nerf was a very, very smooth. That is my least favorite star when I play this. Like, because I basically just do ILs to like smooth out routes and stuff. Which at this point, it's not really as needed. There isn't really much more to find. But that moon I always thought was one of the hardest moons in the game. Whoa. That was an interesting. Oh, he is trying to get this star, and he gets his triple jump. So the key to this is that you want to make sure that you trigger the missile without it exploding, and he just lost it. So that's actually a pretty minor. That's a minor, but it's a time loss. And then the bullet bill gets, well, we murder the bullet bill on that platform to get that moon. And this is my favorite shine sprite of the game, because you knock a sheep all the way over, and that is fun. So, best moon of the game. Oh, are we gonna see it? No, we're gonna talk to the Sphinx. Unfortunate. Yeah, there isn't really that many glitches per se in this game. There's a few clips, but those are just like you'd have to mess with how the collision works. And with that Sphinx Moon out of the way, we're going to continue with the run. Getting this one underneath the sand, which is a common one to get. Well, now we're getting into a semantic argument about what glitches, exploits, and game mechanics are, which is not a discussion I feel like having today, so I'm just going to ignore it for the rest of this cast. So with these moons are actually like really fast. You get that moon with a bullet bill, then you get this moon with the bullet bill. We continue on, shaking the controller to get the bullet bill over here. Jump off as we hit, and we get these two moon. We get this moon and oh, he's not getting the money. Interesting. So he has a different coin route in mind. He's gonna need to get 58. He's gonna need to get about 42 coins before the end of this run, because we're gonna be buying 2 moons from the shops. But that just might mean a seaside first. So now we're gonna go to the Oasis to get a Shine Sprite from right here, and then looks like Nerf is gonna get this moon from this bird. Yoshi is in the post game in the Mushroom Kingdom, so you won't see it in this run. But once you beat the game, you have access to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you can play as Yoshi there. And seeing jcool just walk over to the Odyssey, which is a common way to get back here. Yeah, I was wondering. Thank you, Itamo. I was like trying to puzzle out what that what he was saying there. Hey, so now with both very, very close, going into Seaside, considering how good Nerf's movement is. Oh wait, what? Oh no, we're seeing somebody meme a little bit. Going to Wooded first. There's absolutely nothing. No, there's absolutely no reason to go to Wooded before Lake. Sorry, I said Seaside. I meant Lake. So this is interesting, because now we won't really know who's ahead until the end of these 2 kingdoms, which does leave it in a bit of suspense. Makes it a little bit harder for me to commentate, but it should be fine. So we're going to see... Seaside is extremely quick, so I'll try to explain it. We're going to use this Cheep Cheep to get 3 moons under the water. This one, the one on Dory, and the one on a pillar. Then we're going to use it to stip a large platform in section that has no moons, and... then we're going to use it to go to the boss, which will give us a multi-moon, or, in Japanese, a grand moon. To be fair, I totally understand wanting to mix up these, because you only lose like half a second to menuing, I think it is. It's not a lot of time lost by going to the different ones. It's not like choosing the wrong stage in a Mega Man game and losing your race because of it. I mean, who would ever do that, especially at a GDQ? I don't know, probably some ginger. And so we're going to see them do these in different orders. The boss is actually really hard. I'll explain it when jcool gets to it. So... It's going to be very hard to tell who's ahead until we see them beat both kingdoms. I can also see jcool, some people doing this order in PBs, because this is the harder kingdom. It's actually probably one of the hardest kingdom on jcool's side. jcool, the Wooded Kingdom has got a lot of hard tricks to it. It's got a lot of hard sequence breaks to it. The tricks are pretty precise at some points, and you can lose a lot of time. So I could even see people doing it first in PBs to reset earlier if they screw up the harder tricks. And then, like, obviously, once you get a really good... Oh, is he going to get Water Step? Oh, he gets bonked a little bit. He almost got Water Step, which is really hard to do. Also, one thing that I should note, and I usually note it here because somebody takes damage in this cave here. When you take damage in Super Mario Odyssey, you get healed whenever you touch a moon or a checkpoint. If you touch a non-cutscene moon, you lose time to the healing animation. And it's about 2.2 seconds per segment healed. And then you don't get that whenever you heal during a cutscene moon or a multi-moon. Because the healing happens during the cutscene. As you can see here, jcool is doing this climb. It's actually pretty difficult. And then we're going to get the moon in here. I wish that you could, for the kingdoms that have different looks to them, I wish that you could turn like a look on. Like, I would actually prefer playing Sand Kingdom at night, like when it's like frozen over, the second phase when the pyramid's lifted, because that looks really cool in my opinion. But fortunately, those are like phases to the world. I actually didn't look at the PBs. I don't usually like to look at that because those don't usually matter. It just means that we're like comparing them for no reason. Like, PBs are very different than races. Okay, so jcool is almost finished with Wooded. It's, again, still kind of hard to tell. Oh, and he's taking the slow way, which is understandable. This is one of the trick to get here without this is really difficult. And usually not worth it. If you're not good at it. Oh, no. Yeah, that was really weird. He got, like, ejected. For races, the best I mean, the best benchmark is actually probably, like, average, but some of best is actually pretty good as well. To see how good they are at each individual segment is somewhat important. But I think it's actually the best one is if you could see their averages more easily. And we're seeing Nerf go through Spike Water Cave Thin. Not taking damage, so he doesn't lose the time there. Synced Moon capture. jcool is almost done with the world. Sum of average? I didn't even know that was a thin. I actually usually, when I'm doing prepping for a tournament, I compete against my average. There's a lot of, like, things that go into a race, honestly. And here we go, jcool. Finished Spirit, a boss that doesn't really need any explanation. There isn't much going on with it. Oh, I just realized that Nerf got that moon before getting this moon. That's a bit of a time loss, I think. Maybe not, though. It might not actually matter. And then, oh, and that's why you don't do that trick! So part of the reason why... Oh, it does matter, it's a time loss? That's what I thought. I was pretty sure on that. And on top of that, I think that you're in a good position. Oh no. So when you, another thing is that once you capture that moon, it kind of puts you in a like spot for a setup for that thing that Nerf tried to do. So I think that at this point, I think we can safely say jcool is ahead. Unless he fails cheap skip a bunch. We'll see who wins this. Both of these guys are, again, good runners. jcool getting the cheap. You guys still think Nerf is ahead? Okay, fair enough. And it's really close though. Oh yeah, he's got to be ahead because he's getting his multi-moon here. And jcool has to still fight the boss. And so I'm going to try to explain this out. So this boss, you have to, is actually probably the hardest boss before the end of the game. And you basically do that, you jump, you want to do a bunch of backflips onto his head to prevent him from jumping around, which makes it a lot easier. There's a difference here in that there's a cutscene to skip at the end of Wooded. I don't think there is one for yeah, jcool is just a little bit behind. Because at this point, they are synced up once they fill the moons. So at this point is when they would be synced up. So 210 for the fadeaway to the moon screen. So we're going to get a good idea. And I think 30 seconds might be about right. Yeah, it's looking like it's we'll see. Oh yeah, it looks like it's almost exactly 20 seconds. And it is 26 seconds apart, which is still extremely close. So I mean that's like one Mecha Riddler segment. Like if somebody 2 cycles and the other 3 cycles, I mean, there we go. So here's Bowser. There's a multitude of different strats. And we see first try quick cap on Bowser here. The idea is to try to catch the hat the moment it's available. Oh, almost got it, but the hat like ran away on him. The thing that you need to not let him do is jump around. If he jumps around, you lose a monstrous amount of time. So you'll see some people even damage boost to do this trick. So why this works is that when you hit the cap, it flips over, and if you hit the inside of the cap, it like counts as a capture for this specific capture. And jcool is doing it this slow but consistent way. You can stir up this quick one, and Bowser will just take his cap back sometimes. So jcool's playing it safe. And down we go. So Wooded, okay, sorry, Lost Kingdom. Okay, so you already saw it, but that was Lost Kingdom back entrance. We used the palm tree there to do a major skip. We're going to be skipping the entire Klepto sequence. So in this kingdom, Klepto the bird steals your cap. Because he's Klepto, he's a kleptomaniac, and he wants to steal everything he sees that's shiny. And he really likes your hat. So, doing that, so when he steals your cap, You have to get it back. It's a long little platforming sequence. So instead, we're going to be getting a bunch of moons here with no music, because the game hasn't triggered any soundtracks to play, so it's just playing in the background. And we're actually seeing jcool did a different moon here. Interesting. I wonder which moon that's going to replace. And then you see Nerf Zero triggered the second phase for Klepto. So now Klepto thinks he has the hat. And then we grab this moon here. And both these runners are like really cleanly doing this. We're seeing Nerf get this moon here, which is a replacement for another moon. Which is the one that's underneath the other one of these pillars that jcool is at. And then we're going to grab this moon. And depending on how he's feeling, he is going to do the deathless version. So a lot of people will just die and you respawn back at the Odyssey for that. Yeah, looks like jcool is doing the older route where you get this moon here. And then you fall into that there. Now, will he do death? Yeah, he's just gonna die. So that's totally valid. You only lose like a few seconds to that. We are very close right now. Yeah, I've never seen getting that other moon, like the other moon by the bird moon. So that one was new to me. And so now we're in Dark Metro, and we're already a moon deep into it. It's essentially, Dark Metro is the first phase of Metro, as these kingdoms have multiple phases to them. Some of them, not all of them. Actually, I guess they all do, because post-game. But, this is actually probably where the harder parts of the game is, the City Hall Lost and Found. So the inside of this tower, it's got a it's got a internal timer, which is those platforms. So missing that can lose a little bit of time. Then we're gonna hop on these pillars on the wall. Then we're gonna grab this moon right here. Now we're gonna do one of the harder jumps in the game. At least it can be hard. Some people have problems with it. So you run here, you do a tap, you bounce just as the camera's turning, and then you bounce on one again once the camera's fully turned over. And boom, you're set up perfectly. And as you can see here, jcool slightly missed it and bonked on the platform. And here it is, so Riddler. So this boss is really long. He's going to do this thing where he's going to go into the wall and then shoot out of it. And we want to make sure that he's going as little of a distance as possible. So we do that by basically going right beside his portal. And we want to make sure not to get hit. Another thing is that we don't want to blow up all of those balls, because that's going to advance the sequence. Also, that was a really good Riddler pattern. Holy crap. That was an insane Riddler pattern. Wow. So there is some RNG in how Riddler moves, and sometimes he can just group up like that, allowing you to just make like a bajillion shots on him and like get rid of all of his like segments. That was really, really good. That might have been a near perfect Riddler fight. So as you can see here, he's not clumping up. So he has to like change his direction all the time. Oh, and he gets it. Okay, good. Okay, I was really worried that Riddler was going to go storm back inside. So Two-Phase. What have I been saying? I've been saying Riddler. Oh, Nerf misses the Warp Hat. There you go, that should get it. Now when he shoots his controller, it's going to heat seek onto the wire, and he's going to jump straight into it, saving a bit of time. I wonder if we're going to see our C-step, and we are. And there it is, our C-step. It makes the worst moon in the game significantly better. So now that we're in Day Metro, the route really opens up. There are a lot of moons to get, including Bench Friends. Which is like... yeah, Bench Friends is great. Oh no, RC cars. We're gonna actually have to see somebody struggle with this stupid car. And he gets it fairly quickly. That was not a direct Bench Friends. And we're seeing grabbing one of these mid-air moons, which are always spooky. Now we're gonna climb the tower. This is the highest tower moon. And this looks like it's gonna work out okay. That was a weird way to get that moon, but it was super cool. Doing the quick roll to get over there way faster, and now we're gonna hopefully get... no, nowhere near. Oh, okay, he was actually closer than I thought. Did he? I don't think so. So again, there are two moons in here. Again, this moon right here. And then just gonna do this. So we're gonna skip a bunch of little acrobatics. And so we're gonna get some band members here. Yeah, that small ant race was amazing. So excited I got to cast that one. That was my first cast in a long time for any game. Okay, get your Pi-O-Teps ready, or your speed, or your O-Teps. Because here we go. O-Tep? Yay! Yow! Best part of the game. And here we are off to the next kingdom. Well, one of two next kingdoms, because we're at another split. Another proverbial fork in the road. OTAP. Yay! No, I said yay and then yow because the bass, because he was talking to the bass player at the same time, like jcool was. So right as he said yay, we got to the yow part. I said both lines. We're gonna see Snowden first from Nerf Zero. So we're going to be doing one moon in the snowed over part of Snow Kingdom. But it's really hard to get a name out of your head after you've had it for like 8 billion years. And by 8 billion years I mean since the release of the game and since I played it. And we're into Shiveria. Not sure why he paused there. I assume because he thought he could skip a cutscene. We're getting the shot point and snowed in. Meanwhile, we're going to see jcool do Seaside. We're gonna see if he gets, yeah, he gets the line correct. Gonna jump so he's ready. Oh, misses the dive, unfortunately. Using the speed from the blowhards. Now we're seeing Nerf get in. He's gonna have to do one more of these. These like little pathways. Gonna need to get this icicle down. Drop the Doombas on there, and then abandon the Doomba stack, unfortunately. And then we get this moon here. And jcool is actually done with Seaside. Thankfully, because we don't have to do the boss of Seaside, which is an awful boss. You know, if World Peace would be so much better if we didn't have to beat that boss. Yeah, as you can see here, there is a lot of matches scheduled, or will be happening. If you look at the bracket, today I think is actually the last day for playoff #1 matches for all of the currently running tournaments. So we'll be going into round 2 for all the currently running in their bracket stages. Shortly, we'll actually be having a bunch of tournaments starting up. One new tournament actually just started up, one I'll be playing in, the FF1 PSP tournament. And the Link to the Past Randomizer T-Sanity tournament should be starting up, I think, at the end of the month, as well as a few others. But you can actually check that all out on the website, or alternatively, there's a Discord server free for everyone to join. That has access to a chat room. You can talk about the races in. You can discuss different tournaments, and there's an upcoming tournaments tab, which gives you resources for every single tournament. They're having to take a bit of a slower way to get this moon. Getting this moon inside of the Shake Cave. I think the best part about Super Mario Odyssey and why it's such a good speed game is that, like, there's no actual just set requirements to move on, except for the number of moons you have to get. You're just, like, so free. Yeah, these guys are very good at this. I am not. You say you guys, but I am not good at this. Well, I mean, I would be maybe, but I'm just physically incapable of playing this game well. Oh, it feels bad. At least I can have fun casually, pick it up, do some moons. I've kind of dropped the game recently for Xenoblade and Slay the Spire even more lately. And here's where we're gonna get the rest of our. This is where most people get the rest of their coins, is from this little cave here. Usually people are short about 30 coins, and that cave pretty much does it. Yes, Nerf is winning. Nerf should be almost done now. They're just getting one more moon. Oh, we did see the front of the Cheep Cheep there for a second. Yay! Thanks, Nerf. Oh, I do really dislike the octopus fight. I thought it was very unfun. Maybe it's because I didn't realize how. Maybe I just didn't understand how to do it. I thought everything up to his fight was really good. I really liked the Kingdom, but I just really disliked his boss fight. It felt very slow. That was it. I wish we could skip those tots with Tappy. That would be nice. And here we are, Luncheon Kingdom. Some people's favorite kingdom and other people's least favorite kingdom. I'd say this one has the biggest, like, this one's the most decisive, honestly. Well, I agree with that. If you're into, I think it's like the most galaxy thing in the game, honestly. It is divisive. I hear a lot of people found this to be the least favorite race. Also, yes, this is a very close race. They are, I mean, they're a boss fight apart right now. Please don't die. I wish you could clip out of this boss fight. I like that we go into this moon just to get that. Just to get that secret moon. Nothing would be loaded after that boss? I guess so. Oh yeah, because he's a trigger for the rest of the world. And we saw an interesting death the other day right here. Runner died trying to get this moon. Got very confused. And using the little fire. This is one of my Peekaboo's like one of my favorites for like captures. He's underrated. Are they Peekaboo's? Hodaboos, that's it. Oh, jcool having a little bit of an issue with this skip here. There he goes, he gets it. Neither runner going for cheese skip. Try not to get hit by the spiny. Spiny's so scary. Oh, and we're seeing Nerf do the Potaboo room instead of the Forts room. Oh no! That is the second death in 2 days that I've seen in Potaboo room. I mean, jcool's catching up. That miss there. Oh, jcool going for the Suede strat. I mean, they aren't that far away apart right now. I think Nerf has the better PB. Twitch, 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 twitch. They are really close right now. Oh, jcool has the... Oh yeah, I was pretty sure it was Nerf. Now, when are we going to have a dark side or darker side tournament, thinking? And so here's the dragon boss. Probably the most boring fight. So here's where I shout out all the other tournaments and stuff. Since there isn't much to talk about in this fight, we're gonna do a damage boost on the dragon's head to stip a little bit. Basically, just save time during the platform and to be ready. Well, just as he becomes vulnerable, we're gonna do a ground pound on his head, and then we're gonna repeat this a bunch. So other cool tournaments that are going on are the Legend of Zelda Any % Up A, which has already started. Same with Final Fantasy PSP Total Chaos, which is an 80% run. I think that they are both doing pretty good, actually, by their personal standards. Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Brothers 3 Randomizer Tournament, or sorry, Super Mario Bros. 3 Any % Warpless Randomizer Tournament will be happening, and that's gonna be pretty fun. T-Sanity starts up shortly. Ori in February, Shovel Knight Blade of Shadows in February, Sunshine in February, and in March, the Link to the Past NMG tournament will start up. So, those are all your tournaments that are coming up. If you're interested in learning any of those games, tournaments are a great way to get into games and learn them, get a community to practice and play and talk with. It's usually a great way to learn because everybody's ready, you know? Everybody's there, everybody's learning, lots of people are playing. You can watch the tournament itself to learn. So I'd say a tournament is a great way to start your speedrunning if you haven't started playing yet. And here are, so last kingdom coming up, the moon, or the last big kingdom, which is Bowser's. Okay, so I love this kingdom because the theme is really cool. I love like samurai era Edo Japan, which is, I think, some cool design, like the castles look. I think this was just a really cool thing that they didn't spoil pre-release. I think this is really cool if you just are playing the game and you show up here and you've never seen it before. Oh, missing the low moon shard there. He's so close. Is jcool slightly ahead? He is! The People's Champ is slightly ahead. They're both, I think that they're both watching each other because they're moving in like a way where they're like, oh my gosh, this is way too close, what are we doing? Oh my gosh. This is insane. Nerf his extra moon? Does he? Okay. Well, that's a little bit different then. Yeah, you're right. jcool has to grab this moon. I think I was a little bit behind the stream. Oh, Nerf didn't have the extra moon. Oh my gosh, they're so close. They're going into the bossery fights like at like the same time. Starting with Hatter or Topper, sorry. Oh, and he gets it. jcool's having a way better Topper 2 than his Topper 1. Oh, as I say that. Oh, and he gets it still recovered. Oh my gosh, they're so close. Oh no, jcool. Okay, so this is an important fight. This fight you can lose a lot of time and try to go fast. Okay, jcool or Nerf is now slightly ahead, going in to Harriet's fight. Oh no! And he misses a bomb. He's choking up a little bit. Come on, man. Okay, Nerf is very slightly ahead here, but we are going into the final ascent and the Mecha Brutal, which, by all accounts, is the biggest thing that loses time for runners, other than random deaths during the final segment of the game, during the Honeyloom Ridge. And going up the wall for Nerf. Oh my gosh. Y'all are saying rip, but we ain't seen their Mecha Brutals yet. Mecha Brutals where all the time loss happens. Okay, and he's making us climb up here. We're gonna see which kind of fight these two are gonna go for. And he gets the early Brutal kill. So we gotta hit all 4 of the Brutals inside of their cages to make this Mecha Brutal stop. If you miss one of these really risky ones, then you lose a lot of time waiting for the Mecha Brutal to calm down. Okay, he's on there. Can't damage the Mecha Brutal during this phase, because you're just gonna fall off. He's gonna try to go for a 1 or 2 hit. Okay, so we see it from jcool as well. He got right on the Mecha Brutal, gets knocked off, because that's what happens. Oh, Nerf's trying to get back on the Mecha Brutal. He wants to get there fast enough that he can still get. And there it is, a perfect-ish Nerf fighting the Brutal. Holy crap. And with that, we have Nerf going into the final kingdom, the Moon Kingdom. There are no more Power Moons left to collect in this run. We have all 124, I think it is, from multiple different kingdoms. But jcool not giving up, because he still has a chance. There are some deaths you can see in Moon Kingdom. And that is the Mecha Brutal down for jcool. They are really, really close. So one messed up thing during the escape, and like this is still anyone's race, honestly. You can easily lose like a minute or 2 in the final escape sequence. I've actually commentated a lot of close runs. This is probably one of the closer ones I've seen. Although I have an unusual knack of commentating races that are close right up until the finale. I saw a race where both runners died in the finale. It just so happened that one of the runners died twice. So, here's the Moon Kingdom. Fun story I like to tell every time. I was watching runners play this game on day one, because I knew I didn't know if I was ever going to get it. So it turned out I got one like a month later. I think it was Spike Vegeta was talking with somebody, and the person he was talking with basically said that these moon physics are basically going to get broken at some point. They basically are like, they're essentially to get broken. Turns out that not only were they, it took less than 24 hours before somebody had broken the moon physics, and here we are at the moon step. We do a jump there, a tap jump here, we do a wall jump here, then we try to find the wall on the other side that we can jump off of, and boom, we have skipped a 5-minute platforming section with a boss in it. So we can just run straight up to the cathedral. This is the only major skip in the run I'd be worried that they'd patch out, in that maybe they would make it so like Mama Brutal has to be killed before the load zone for the cathedral is open. That would be the worst thing that could happen. Please do not do that, Nintendo. You would ruin your speedrun. Yeah, Madame Brutal too is in the cave. Actually, a pretty tough version of her too. Oh, you could. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess you could just go in for. What happened to the tap there? Okay, they're both on the boss fight. This is a little bit longer of a fight because there's more phases that Bowser goes through before throwing his cap. We have to jump over this fire, which looks way more intimidating than it actually is. It looks like you'd have to do huge jumps, but you can just do little hops. There he goes, gets the quick one, and does a little block there, and he's out. Okay, Nerve Zero, the first one to have beaten Bowser, and now we are going into the Honey Loom Ridge escape sequence, which is the final section of the game where we get to play as Bowser with Peach on our shoulder. And so we're going to be doing a few little tricks here. We're going to be timing a triple jump here, coming off of this. We want to do this triple jump so that we can basically save a bit of time by going straight to this pillar instead of around. Breaking this wall apart reveals a 2D section that we have to do. This is a required 2D section. And we do a 2D time save there. But we are still really close, and there is still a chance that somebody loses during the final portion of this game. If you're wondering how you shoot fireballs, you just have to shake your controller. This is, there's still a chance of a death here. This final section, I have seen good runners die. So... Oh, oh, what? Nerf is doing, the slow version? Was this an improvisation to Zola's fireballs missed? This is risky because if he doesn't do this right, when you break the last pillar, every single one of the like there's a bunch of blocks that just instantly fall away. So it can be pretty risky. But looks like he's good because he can just walk here from here. And I think maybe he was doing this for safety. And it looks like, based on this, and nerf 0 in the thin, so now he just has to shake his heart out, and he ends with a time of 1:10:38. GG. That was a fantastic race. Probably the closest one I have commentated. Like within a minute. Whew.
11:08. It was faster than my practice run. Oh man. Okay.
Hello,
I
jcool.
lost by 30 seconds. Crap. I'm out of the tourney. No, I wish I didn't fall off in Bowser Kingdom a little bit. Although I think it didn't cost 30 seconds. I think I was doomed from the start.
I have to go into this channel to ask them in here for an interview. Oh, good job. Good job, Nerf.
Hey, it was ugly, but we got it.
That was, honestly, I don't know. I don't know how much time he lost from that death at the end there. But, I almost want to say it might have been 30 seconds. He died during the final ascent of, Bowser's Kingdom.
Oh, dang.
After the bosses, so... That, that was probably, like, the most heartbreaking. You guys were really close. You guys both had phenomenal thins going on. It was a little rough to commentate for me solo because you guys decided to do different kingdoms.
Yeah, he's a wooded kingdom first, right?
I totally did it because I would probably do that if I ran this game consistently just to get wooded out of the way early. Because like then I'm resetting earlier.
Good point.
Like, that's what I said in the race. I could totally see people wanting to do it earlier so they reset earlier because Seaside's free. So. Oh my gosh. True. I don't know if jcool's gonna come in here, but yeah, good job. You're gonna be moving on to round 2 by the skin of your teeth too. Just 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was a fun race.
Like literally, all it took was you falling off of Meta Brutal, and you would have lost.
Yeah.
This one. So. So I have to ask, why did you like improvise the Honeyloom Ridge like part? Because like you just kind of walked up to the pillar instead of fireballing it and then going to the left.
I saw that I only landed one fireball, so I just went that way.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I assumed that when you noticed that all your fireballs missed, I was like, he's probably just going there to
not quite an American sniper. But yeah, that was super exciting. Glad to see it was close, since it always makes for excitement. The two deaths were unfortunate. Potable Room was like, give me a break, dude.
I was like, oh, they're doing because I was curious to see if you guys go Potaboo or if you guys go Forks, and both you guys went Potaboo, and that was where I thought like that's actually where jcool caught up a little bit, like quite a bit, and then in Bowser's he was ahead for part of it. So that's this race got really close right at the end. You're about 30 seconds apart, I think, at most at any given time. The biggest difference being Wooded versus Seaside. I think he was 30 seconds behind going into Metro Lost Cloud section. So being 30 seconds ahead through pretty much the entire race is pretty sweet. I don't know if jcool's coming in, but there's another Super Mario Odyssey race, so I did pin him to come in. So I think we'll just pass you guys over to Speed Game, and since there's a race going on there as well. Again, today's the last day of the playoffs, or the playoff stage 1. So you'll be seeing some round 2 matches going on. So I'll pass it over. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.